Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Title actually. Subject is title maybe. That is what I'm saying. What values is it? Is the title again somewhere? Somebody has made this mandatory. Subject, subject, subject. Here it is. Save this. So now what I'm saying is my priority is high for this particular case that has been assigned. I mean it can come from the online form or it can come from. It can be directly created as well. So when this happens, according to the rule that I have set up on the escalation, that it has to be directly escalated to Abigail. So you see this. See the status now. It is already escalated. And who is it escalated to? So an escalation assignment is high priority customer and it's been escalated to the manager directly. Escalated to Abigail Khan. Now, for better understanding, instead of taking the priority high directly, what you can do is, under the case rules, you can create or you can edit this rule. Let's create a new rule rather. When you create a new rule, let's go back to the list. Click on New Rule. So usually in a business scenario, how they do it is, there is something called as duration since case creation minutes. So they select this particular rule and then they say criteria greater than. According to their business needs, it might be 4 hours. It could be 3 hours or it could be 2 hours. So if this case is untouched for 120 minutes, then it has to be escalated. That is what we are saying. Time since duration, since case creation. Something like this. They actually create this rule. And you can create sub-criteria for this as well, or you can save it. So what I'm saying is, if this particular case, or any case for that matter, if it is untouched, nobody has touched that case. There's no update on it for like 2 hours, or it hasn't been assigned to anybody for 2 hours. Then you can actually create a case assignment. You can create a new case assignment and then you can see this here. The case escalating would be there. I'll be here again. And this rule case, since case duration, since case creation rule that I've selected, and then I can create an assignment like this. So now we cannot test that because we'll have to wait for 120 minutes after creating the case. If it is not patched for around 20 minutes only, then it will be escalated to this manager. As simple as that. So just like the way this has worked, it has been escalated to Abigail because based on the priority rule that we have set up. So likewise, you can create multiple rules. It's not that you will create only one rule. So anything if you click on this new rule, you can have your company name, you can have creation date, creation time, customer status, duration since case creation, duration since last modified by customer, duration since last modified by internal user. Let's say it hasn't been modified for one complete day. You can actually specify the minutes over there, and then you can create a rule on email on your file template, form template. So there are a whole lot of options. The more rules you create, the more complicated it gets. As simple as that. You can have multiple rules. And if you're creating two rules in a single rule, let's say two conditions in a single rule, then it works only if both the conditions are matching. See, I can say time, I mean duration since my time case creation, and I also can say priority. So if my priority is high and then nobody has touched it for 120 days, 20 minutes, then it has to be escalated to a manager. So you can create a rule, which I mean it's got to match both the rules that you have created over there, and only then it gets escalated. Any questions on the entire support process? So this particular module is called Call to Resolution. Somebody is calling you to get a resolution. So it is called Call to Resolution. This is completely about the entire Call to Resolution module. As in, how do you create your case rules? How do you create your case assignments? How the cases are created? How a manual case is created? I have shown you how the manual case is created, how the online case form is created. What are the fields that you can specify? How many fields can you make mandatory? What are the number of characters that you have over there? One thing that did not work during our demo today is that the lead did not get created even though we have specified the preference. The lead, I mean it's getting some anonymous customers there. So if you have a lead that is getting created, that will look into it, no problem. But overall the concept, you understood how exactly these things work. You can create an online case form, and on the case form you can specify the first name, last name, city, anything. And then there is a preference, there is a support preference wherein you can say that if it does not match, then it has to be a lead. You can select that particular thing. And when someone puts in a query as a new customer with a new email address, then a case gets created on NetSuite automatically. And then case A, how is it assigned to a sales rep? To a support rep. How an employee is converted to a support rep. I have shown you that as well. There is a little support rep checkbox on the employer record. You have to just click on that and he becomes your support representative. So you have multiple employees, like you have 50 employees. So 5 of them can be your support reps. If 15 of them can be your sales reps. Another 30 can be your project reps, representatives. So that is how you convert. So we have shown how the manual case assignment can be done, how someone can grab those cases if they are the support representatives. And then we have also seen how the case is automatically assigned based on the rules that we have created. And in those rules, we've also seen how the groups can be created, how the number of sales reps can be assigned to a single group. And we've also seen how the static and dynamic groups are created, which can be assigned. And finally, we have seen how the case assignments are done based on the escalations. You can create multiple rules. You can create multiple criteria for those rules. Different conditions in those rules. And then directly you can actually assign. You can escalate the cases to those particular managers or whoever it is that you know. You can specify an employee over there and then it can be assigned. To end, by the way, in the case assign escalation assignment also, you can assign that to a group as well. You can assign that to a support group as well. Like this. You have to specify the email address. The email address is not specified in the support group that I have created, and that's the reason it's not taking in. So if I go into the list, relationships and groups, let me open the support group that I created. There is no email address specified in my support group. That is not mandatory, but I did not specify that. So that's why it was not taking in. I can save this group when I go back to my case assign escalation. Just to refresh this, go here. I can assign this to a group. The email is defaulted. This is how it is. So remember one thing, guys. If you're getting some errors. See, during the course that we have done today, there were a lot of errors that I have resolved. Initially, the first thing was that the support system itself was not enabled. So if I went in here and I saw that the support was not there, so what did I do? I went into the enable features. I've enabled the support case system and I've enabled the lead conversion over there. So that is when I have all these options available. That is one thing. And when I was creating my online case form, I was getting certain errors that my company name is mandatory. So you've got to enter the company name and make it mandatory. That is one thing. What else did we resolve? I think there were a lot of issues that we have resolved during the. So that is exactly how I see this was one of the issue. The email address was not specified, but you cannot specify the email here. You have to go into that support group over there that we created, give an email address over there, and that is when it gets defaulted here. So these things you will get with some experience. So you will have to play around with the system. That is what I say. You have access for 60 days. So please ensure that you're doing all these things that we have done in the class now. When I was doing it, it might have taken 1 hour. For you, it might take 3 hours, but it will be a very good learning how to create cases, how to create the online form, how is the link getting generated. So when I went into the online case forms, there was something called as enable online. If you don't do that, then obviously this is not going to work out. This enable online has to be there, so these sort of errors you will get it. If you remove this, if you uncheck this enable online, then the link that got generated for the external will not be there. So let us do that. I don't know if it's going to work now, but if I do this and if I save it, still is working. But because I've already created, I think it's there. You see this? So these are the errors you will get. So the more you practice, I was resolving these errors even before I'm getting the errors because I know that this will be an error. And that is the reason I'm saying that this has to be enabled online or else it's not going to work out. So you have to ensure that this is checked. Enable online and these things can be done. Anything else that we have missed out on? Detailed message. So it feels we already discussed appearance. We have already discussed sections form logo. Nothing else. I mean, I've discussed most of the things which are related to the support thing. Call to resolution. The entire module is called to resolution. So what I suggest is please go and create some online case forms, create some cases, try to grab those cases as your support reps and then try to create some rules and try. Don't don't use the rules and assignments that I have done. See, if you log into the system now, you will have the rules and case assignments that I've done. So you create your own cases. You grab those cases. You auto-assign those cases. You escalate those cases and see how things work. And simple. You will understand the entire call to resolution. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.